Earthquake of 1988 and the war in Artsakh have turned thousands of children homeless and parentless. Children of unemployed parents were underfed, had health problems, and some parents preferred to abandon them or to leave them in orphanages. Nuns of the Order of the Armenian Catholic Sisters of the Immaculate Conception, who have been finally permitted to serve the homeland, started working with these morally, physically, and mentally exhausted settlements.
I was teaching in senior school, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grades. It sometimes happened that children lost consciousness during the lessons. The director told me those were orphans who had lost their parents in Gyumri during the earthquake. Grandparents in the village were taking care of them, but they couldn't afford decent food. We thought over what to do, as the number of such children was surely much more. We organized the summer camp.
In 1994, 150 children spent their summer holidays in the Our Lady of Armenia camp. Year after year, the numbers increased, reaching 600 children. The 3 years of work proved that the idea of organizing the camp was rather effective. However, to be able to include more children, our own area was necessary. The Armenian Alliance Foundation wanted to support the effort and lent a helping hand, purchasing a building in Tsarnatsor, which was specifically meant for the camp. Each year, nearly 1,000 children have found their rest and got their education in this picturesque place. These are children from orphanages, boarding schools, abandoned stray and orphan children, and children from large families and border villages.
Each time we went shopping or went for other purposes to Yerevan with Sister Arusiak, people approached, kissed Sister Arusiak, and told her that camp had changed their lives, that these 16 days had set right their road of life. We were inspired to go on supporting Sister Arusiak as we saw that the children there would really be our pure Armenians in the future, would be the youth useful for Armenia.
Group leaders working in the camp have been trained beforehand in order to be able to work with these children having numerous mental health issues. Volunteers from different countries also help. The camp hosts 60 volunteers yearly.
I am glad to be in this camp, as I have wonderful impressions. I have never seen such a camp. Everything is wonderful here. The games are arranged very well. I have got very good friends. The staff is also wonderful. My day is full of content here. Every second I learn something new. I am always busy with something.
Children also get spiritual education here. During these years, about 5,000 children have been baptized in the camp. Inexhaustible and sincere love, which the campers need so much, is the key to the camp's success. For overcoming difficulties and concerns alien to childhood, these children need even a small amount of support. And the Our Lady of Armenia camp has become the support for thousands of children. The camp work has revealed that there are numerous abandoned or orphaned children who have no place to live or they deal with inhumane conditions. Albert Bogosian, who is one of the camp benefactors, suggested building a house that will shelter such children to ensure their physical existence, educate, and bring them up for a better future. As a result, in 1998, the Our Lady of Armenia Bogosian Educational Center was founded, hosting 66 parentless children within the first year. During the further years, the center started sheltering children who had been abandoned or had suffered from parents' moral, psychological, and/or physical violence.
Դիրամայր Հայաստանի կենտրոնի սաները
Children of the Our Lady of Armenia Educational Center have difficulties in life, like all children, but their difficulties are more than the others. Their parents are often divorced and the children feel themselves abandoned. Their main problem is the lack of parents' care. So we, the staff, the sisters, psychologists, try to fill up the gap to some extent for the children to be able to overcome this need with the help of our love, care and attention.
Այդ ծնողական գուրգուրանքի պակասը
To love and to be loved. These are the priority needs that each child has. The stories of abandoned children and of those having difficult childhoods are similar. But the consequences are destructive in their own way.
When one of the parents leaves a child, the child thinks he or she is worthless for the society. But Sister Arusiak and the other sisters give the love for the child to feel himself important, to understand that society needs him. If he was born, if the God brought him into this world, so he is meant for something. He is surely useful.
Now up to 300 children have been brought up in the Our Lady of Armenia Boghosian Educational Center. Specialists of the center carry out individual work with each child for their comprehensive development and education. To expand on their growth, in 2005, the Our Lady of Armenia Choir was founded. The girls are not only being educated by means of singing, but also to overcome their complexes and psychological issues.
When you sing on the stage and people applaud you, you believe that step by step you will achieve the peaks you dream of. And when people applaud, you understand that you are valuable for them.
First of all, I want them to become honest and decent people. I want them to be educated and spiritually wealthy. In parallel to the work implemented in Gyumri, the sisters were also working in Tashir. This choice was not taken lightly. The number of vulnerable and needy families in the city were many. In 1994, the Our Lady of Armenia Educational Center was founded here, sheltering children of school ages. The center ensured them food and clothes, assisted them in preparing lessons, and gives extracurricular education.
Ընտանիքներ կան, որ իրոք մենք
There are families who really have no daily bread. This hurts us deeply, and we try to help them as much as we can. There are no fathers in the families. Some have left, others are dead, or mothers are divorced. The families are unemployed, or working mothers have no time to devote to their children. Such children stay in the center till 5 p.m., where they get education and upbringing.
Զբաղվում ենք իրենց հետ դասերով.
Besides preparing the lessons, children get spiritual education here, participate in cultural and sporting events of the city and the region, as well as being awarded prizes and letters of acknowledgement for their achievements. Not only the children, but their families too are in the spotlight.
Եղել է ժամանակ, որ տուն ուտելու բան չի եղել, դրանից ես էլ եմ շատ նեղվել.
There was a time when we had nothing to eat, and I felt very depressed of it. It was a time when the child went to bed hungry or took the plate and asked for something to eat, but there was nothing. Now Sister Hakinta helps us a lot, with clothes, with food. In winter we got food mostly from them, for which I'm so grateful to the sisters and the benefactors.
Each child attending the Our Lady of Armenia Tashir Educational Center realizes very well the role of the center in his or her life. The center helps them to believe in their future, provides them with knowledge and skills to grow their potential and build a bright future. The social support provided by our center is rather large. The parents' burden is considerably lightened as we attend the center. The benefactors have achieved their purpose by supporting the center. Numerous children have been well educated and have helped their families. I am grateful to the benefactors for supporting the center, as our nation needs such centers badly. The work we do with the children and their families has shown that in families with low standards of living, the education level is also very low. Children either do badly at school or can't afford getting an education or a vocation. Boys and girls brought up in care centers or orphanages are not prepared to withstand the challenges of adult life and to become self-sufficient. All this became a reason for the founding of the Our Lady of Armenia Vocational School in 2009. The school provides free education and vocation to the young people from vulnerable layers of the population, for them to be able to work and overcome poverty.
Here we get not only vocation, but also learn to interrelate with people, acquire spiritual knowledge. We arrange numerous events and get interrelated with people. I have great achievements due to this school. I have acquired much knowledge, so I advise the young people of my age to attend the school by all means. They will acquire knowledge and experience here.
Today, the vocational school provides education both to adults and pupils of the 10th grade who acquire a vocation simultaneously with the school graduation. Moreover, 90% of them are already employed. During these years, the Armaid Vocational School ensured the vocation to numerous young people who not only found high-paying jobs, but also gave rise to rivalry in their given field. We should pass a stage, which is the process of quality accreditation. That is, accreditation will provide us wide opportunities both for being competitive and for being more acknowledged on international platforms. And this is very important. Research will be done by this institution, and their positive conclusion will be provided for establishing similar schools both in Armenia and abroad. Many graduates of Bohosian Educational Center in Gyumri and the Our Lady of Armenia Educational Center in Tashir have gone on to higher education. Girls with low academic performance have acquired secondary vocational education or have become a vocational school student themselves. These centers have always had their students in the best universities of the capital. During the years, this number increased, and the necessity arose to establish a youth center in Yerevan where the girls will live and study.
Years ago, when our graduates started their study in the university, they stayed in our small house in Yerevan, but there was no supervision. We noticed that they shouldn't have been left alone. Due to generous support of benefactors, Aleko and Annie Bazikian, we have this center, where both our youth and the needy students from different regions, even from Javak, can live and study in the university. All of them study well. We provide them rooms with all facilities, food, travel expenses, and ensure their scholarship as well.
Annie Bazikian Youth Center covers the girls' residential and study expenses, and at the same time provides them with moral and spiritual education and a proper upbringing. And it's not in vain that the girls consider the center their home and the co-dwellers their family members.
This is their home. Morning, noon, evening, each girl does what she manages to do at home. They have their daily schedule duties, dishwashing, cleaning, and laundering. Then they do their lessons. They are busy with the lessons all day long. On Saturday, we are busy with cleaning, after which we sit together and drink coffee. On Friday evening, we have a general meeting. Girls sing, play musical instrument, and they are very joyful. All of them have understood each other as if they have the same nature.
The center supervises not only the girls' daily routine and lessons, but also their environment, who their friends are, and whether they are a good influence or not. Due to the comprehensive support and supervision, the girls can acquire a good education and a good upbringing.
This center has given us so many opportunities. Besides the higher education, we also get spiritual education. It is very important, especially nowadays, when we all have alienated ourselves from God. Meetings with our archimandrites are often arranged. These meetings help us a lot. We get answers to our questions. Here we learn from the sisters, learn to be responsible. We also learn from the girls here, studying for other vocations. Each girl will get her vocation.
It's young people who will build the country's future, but it is impossible to do so by ignoring the past and getting rid of it and throwing it away. The past was created by our grandmothers and grandfathers who remain the bearers of this past, but the majority of them are abandoned, alienated, forgotten, living in poverty and in loneliness.
I visited homes of some elderly people and returned crying indeed. I noticed an elderly man who was standing at the window all day long. He was looking at the children playing in the yard and saw resemblance with his grandchildren. He said, "I don't know how much more mature they have become and who they have become. They were kids when they left me. I look at the children in the yard, find resemblance with them and pray, asking God to take me away soon." When we took these people to our center, their lives fully changed.
Due to the support of the Armenian Alliance Foundation, the Nadine Basmadjan Daycare Center for the Elderly was built. Lonely, abandoned, and needy elderly people are the beneficiaries of the center. Getting cut off from their gloomy, lonely, and cold daily routine, the elderly make themselves ready and wait for the bus that takes them to the center. Once having good jobs and social status, these people cannot adapt to the fact of being ignored and forgotten. The Nadine Basmadjan Center has made the elderly feel, again, themselves necessary and, first of all, useful to each other.
To our surprise, more people come to our center from conflicting families. Their number is greater than that of lonely, childless people. There are numerous problems in conflicting families. Daughter-in-law, mother-in-law, son-in-law relations are very strained. When the elderly come to our center, they are in a very bad condition indeed.
Daily routine of the elderly in the Nadine Basmadjan Center is very busy and meaningful. Group games, spiritual and psychological talks, excursions, reading, watching television, celebrating of all the state and religious holidays, and of course, everyone's birthday. The elderly have meals here, have a bath, and receive full bags of gifts and food twice a year. They are constantly supervised by doctors. 15 of them have undergone eye surgery by means of the center's support.
I was crying all day long standing at the window. I have 2 married daughters, sons-in-law, grandchildren, but I feel myself lonely and abandoned. I was in poor condition while attending the center. I suffered a stroke here and was moved to the hospital at once. Now I get health care and I am quite satisfied.
Grandmothers and grandfathers can surely change the world by their dreams and faith. But young people forget and ignore them in the crazy rush, whereas it should be remembered that old age is inevitable for everyone.
We are the nation who could rise from ashes. That is why I do not accept at all the despair of those who say that everything is ended up if we continue so. I completely disagree with this psychology. An Armenian has been able to withstand up to now, and it is due to his intellect, industriousness, and willpower. We do not give up. We will not be depressed by the enemy actions. I dream of having Ararat on our land someday, and I work with this dream.
Եվ այդ երազով ես աշխատում եմ